The first announcement to make is this. We've already done, for practical labs, we've already done chapter 1. Now we are about to finish chapter 4. The outstanding chapter remaining is chapter 8 before I can send you to the labs, right? So very soon I'll come up with an announcement for you to get ready to go to the labs. And the current change on this is that you're writing on the 9th of next month. It will be on a Monday. I cannot make your write either on a Thursday or on a Wednesday, simply because you are split into two. So I must choose a day whereby you are all together. However, I don't like 8 o'clock test. I'll make it half 8. And I'll try, depending how long it is, I might most likely make it 1 hour 30 minutes in order for you to have enough time to finish. Okay? So this is worth noting. I will also post this. Right, then let us commence. Remember, we've done the examples on Monday. Now we are doing the problems now. Okay, so problem 4.1, we have the following gives the number of pins of type B blood used at Woodlawn Hospital in the past 6 weeks, right? Then they want us to forecast the demand for the week of October 12th using 3-week moving average. Next, so you see here we have October 5, so we need the 7 the next week. Okay? From here to the next week we go the 12. So we need the 12 next. So another person would start afresh, start from here and do them. But this one is moving average. We can just go straight to the last section and just do this one. We'll see now how to conduct this. So this exercise is of a test exam standard. Ne? So it's of a test exam standard. And the nice thing is that it has been broken down. Hey, when I behave, man, behave. I'm trying to connect this thing wirelessly, guys, so that I can easily move around. Ooh, Mutisano, how do I type here? You are misbehaving, man. Just. When we tell them to give us the fingerprint capabilities, they say no. They don't want. And this computer is very clever. It does have fingerprint capabilities, whereby if I make a mistake, I would be able to, because I need freedom to move around. Okay. So now, number A. Number A, you can solve it by just going straight to the point. Because it's a 3-week average, we'll sort these three, ne? To get the forecast for week 12. So F2
T, ne? You can somewhere maybe write a 12 here, equals to 381 plus 368 plus 374 divide by 3 equals to okay. So that is 381 plus 368 plus 371 and over 3 and that. So my answer is, these are what? 373.33. These are what? Pins of blood, right? So you definitely have to write it in full. Pins. Because we are representing the number of blood, right? Then now for B, now we're gonna do the same, however we have weighted average, né? We have the weighted average. Use 3-week weighted moving average with weights. These are your weights, 3 of them, and 6 being for the recent week. The 0.6 is for the recent week. I can see I'm creating a shade. Let me zoom. So the most recent week is 0.6. Let's add these guys. 0.1 plus 0.3, how much do you get? 0.4, ne? Then plus 0.6, how much do you get? 1. So now remember that the formula for weighted moving average, you divide not by n but by the total number of what? Of the what do you call them, the weight, right? So you will divide by 1. You don't need to necessarily show that you divide by 1, because whatever that you divide by 1 remains the same, right? Obviously you'll be writing down the formula also for that. So now for B, I'll write it here. For B, we have, and we need that data there. Yeah, we can leave it like this. So the most recent one is 374. I get 374 multiplied by 0.6, right? Because they say 0.6 goes to the most recent. It's a statement, okay? Then plus 368 multiplied by 0.3 plus 381 multiplied by 0.1. All this divide by 1. You can show it. Yeah, it's not a problem. It's not a crime. Divide by 1. Right. Then you come here on the calculator. 374 multiplied by 0.6 plus 368 multiplied by 0.3 plus 381 multiplied by 0.1 over 1. Okay, and the answer is 372.9. Because we are dealing with blood, it's going to be 373. Okay, I tried. I tried by all means to write neatly. I'm trying. I'm trying. Okay. Now, number C. It is very important that I'm gonna read it before I start writing. I'm gonna read it first. And with an aim to help you distinguish between the two names. When we say compute forecast for week 12 using exponential smoothing forecast, exponential smoothing forecast, and then with a forecast for August 31 is 360 there, and then you have your alpha there. Okay, you can just note those ones down for AG. Hey, 31 is equals to 360. Then alpha is equals to 0.2. There is a time whereby I would say to you trend projection. Ne? Trend projection. You can tell that trend, it goes trend line. It goes with trend line. Understand? So usually those questions they would start with you being required to draw a graph, and after that you plot. Then you look for that trend line. Understand? That's in the case of trend line or trend projection. They have another weight. They use something with squares, but I'll try to use common weights unless I intro them to you thoroughly. So the formula there, usually you start looking for the value of B, which is equals to, then you use your calculator to get X and Y, and you punch in. Ne? So that is out of the way. Now we are doing this exponential smoothing. It works with this. So if you pay close attention, what is happening inside here? This is a forecast error. Understand? So whereby it says actual of the previous month minus the forecast of the previous month. You understand? So this is a forecast error. Yeah? Forecast error. Then we also use the forecast here of the previous month. This I'm teaching it like I'm teaching grade ones because of the dynamo effect that the question has. It will end up being a little bit unfair when now you are writing a test and your first answer, once it's wrong, everything is wrong, and this is holding a lot of marks, roughly 10 marks to 20 marks, and you just lose them by making a silly mistake like that. Understand? And the nice thing is this is being recorded. Ne? Let me confirm my recordings here. Is it counting? Yeah, it's counting. So I would always say to my students, that's why I was recording when they come and get zeros. Understand? It is possible. What is a common thing is that the students who don't attend don't even watch the very same recordings. Understand? And therefore, that's why I decided not to post them directly to what you call Blackboard, but to post them to YouTube first and take a link so that at least those who watch, they make me money. Then I know that I get paid at the end of the month for the views. So I don't worry about people watching or not, because they will come here next year and we do it again. You must watch those videos. It's not compulsory, but it's the best thing to do. So now, they're zooming and they're moving around. Now sometimes I'm confused, but we'll turn this to 1, 2, 3 to avoid a lot of things. So I can't write properly. This thing of not having lecturer tables is a problem. It's not good. Right, then we have the the 31, because the nice thing is the numbers here, they're not the same, so I'm going to rewrite them. We have what for the 31, 7, 14, 21, 28, 5, and 12. Okay, and then now I want to write these other values. Now we have, I wish I could zoom on. Okay, no, behave. I saw 360, and obviously even this side is going to be 360. This is FT, this is AT, right? And then 389 for 10. Okay, 389 for 10. Hey, I can't write properly, guys. Let me erase. I'll do a quick screenshot of this. This is giving me hell now. This form is too small. Right, then I'll go up and get a screenshot of this. Okay, now it's much better. I can comfortably write whatever that I want to write. When you can't write properly, that's what you struggle with. We have August 31, Sep 7, Sep 14, 21, Sep 28, October 5, and October. We are looking for October 12, right? Then the first one is 360, 389, 410, 381, 368, 374. Then I said this is your actual, then this one is going to be your forecast. Word of advice, what I usually tell my student is write the entire formula here. FT, it's equals to FT minus 1 plus FT minus 1 plus what? Alpha, open bracket, AT minus 1 minus FT minus 1. A gentle warning. I might give you the table like that, with the formula like that. Ne? Do not come into the test to practice how to use the formula. Other people, they write 80 minus 1. Like literally minus 1. Not previous, but minus 1. Understand? Meaning that they've already lost the marks. So it's not minus 1. It's just an indication to say we are considering for the previous month. Those who don't attend, even when they watch the videos or they don't watch videos, they still don't understand that. And they come and they use the important marks. It was stated that for August we have 360. Then for September, we're going to still have 360 plus, I forgot the alpha is 0.2. 0.2 bracket 80 is 360 minus your FT, which is the 360, because you need to use this one. 360 equals to, so this 360 minus 360 remains 0, and then the answer is 360. Anyone sign the register? Or didn't sign it? Yeah. We're trying to give them the link. Guys, I forgot my class rep. Who's Rotondo? Please send me the link. I didn't receive it. I thought that I received it. I didn't. You may respond to my email, message from Vutela, ne? Respond via it, and then so that I can post it to the whole class. Okay, so now 360 we carried over, okay, because we still require the forecast of the previous month, so we are carrying it over. 360 plus 0.2, then the actual for that previous month is 389. 389 minus 360. Always remember, we are dealing with, you cannot on the very same month forecast and have the actual. No, you cannot. So you always use data from the previous month. Understand? So you always use information from previous month, because we are forecasting for the future. Okay. And this is a short-term forecasting. It always depends on, in real life, you are always not given the actual. Maybe this is how we need to also explain it. In real life, you're not always given the actual. You have the actual from the previous month. I get this month of what? Is it February? We know that we have achieved 389. I get. Then we predict next month. This is how you will be doing it in real life. Then you predict the next month, because this is a short-term scheduling or short-term forecasting. We're only concerned about next month. But the actual, we don't know it. We haven't sold anything. Usually this will be in terms of sales. We haven't sold any car. Then you wait for the report. Then you do your calculations that are similar to this from the previous month. You understand? You use that month forecast to determine the next month forecast. You understand? And the question in this case, you are actually asked to find forecast for the month that you don't know. Here, you will see this when we get here, that okay, you sometimes you see here we don't have the actual. There we don't have the actual, but we're looking for the forecast. In real life, this is what will happen. The data that we've gathered right now, the sales, are the ones that helps us to determine the next month. This is in a context of real life. Remember, sometimes we're teaching you things that when you get there, you don't know where to start. I get it. But like, it's not going to be a straightforward thing that you must do. And managers might not even guide you properly, because boy, they were not cooked properly. It is possible. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to my calculator. And I have 360 plus 0.2 open bracket 389 minus 360. Get used to your calculator, guys. I know some prefer Sharp. I like this one, and I don't have any app here Sharp. So this is 365.8. 365.8. Okay. Then you carried over that 365.8. 365.8 plus 0.2 open bracket, hour is 410 minus 365.8, which is equals to. I like starting afresh for the sake of practicing, so that your fingers could be can get used to the accuracy. So plus 0.2, unlike editing the previous answer. Okay, plus 365.8, close bracket. Then we have 520.96. Okay, leave it as this, 520.96. Things. Yeah, you see, that's why I like this type of calculators, whereby student can see. Pay attention, guys. 374.64. We carried over 374.64. The pen is now losing it. 64 plus 0.2, the previous 381, then minus 374.64 equals to, okay, 374.64 plus 0.2, open bracket, 381 minus 374.64, close bracket, equals to 375.91. Then we're very close now. Now we have the answer, 375.91 plus 0.2, open bracket, 368 minus 375.91, close bracket, equals to, okay, 375.91 plus 0.2, open bracket, 368 minus 375.91 equals to, then 374.33. Then now we are looking for that month that we don't know. You see now, that month that we don't know, now we are looking for it. Okay, so now that is 374.33 plus 0.2, open bracket. You see, it relies on the previous month, minus 374.33 equals to, then 374 minus 0.2, open bracket, 374 minus 374.33, close bracket, and just check everything there. Okay, I said minus here, it needs to be positive. $374 plus, then this becomes 373.93. 373.9. So you can ultimately say, because you are required to answer 373.9 3.9, round it up to able. Whoa, okay, where did I forget it? Oh, here. Thank you. Okay. Then, because we are asked, you need to give it in this form. Is 374. Then, the question that is common after this, it will be, what is a deviation? You hear the word deviation. Understand? The deviation is, we have actual and we have focus. You minus the two, you get the deviation. Understand? Then we call it a mean deviation, né? Or a mean absolute deviation. So meaning that from here you can compare. It's not part of the question. I'm prepping you for other questions that are up ahead. From here you can compare this minus that. You are getting what? That error. You remember the error we spoke about? Yes. So the aim of forecasting is, so if you were to look for the absolute deviation, that 360 minus 360 is equals to 0. So there is no deviation when you look at the first one. Again? Then when you look at the second one is 360. No, the second one is also not having any deviation because okay, but it's not like that. Let's see. Yeah, the second one is also not having no, it does have a deviation. It's going to be 389 minus 360, right? Then it is a 29 as a deviation, né? And the 29 is positive, né? So I want to test if we have any that has a negative deviation, so that the next part I can easily explain it. Look at the 368. 368 minus 375.9. What do you have? You have a negative, né? But we are saying absolute values, meaning that you take the values as they are. You're ignoring whether they're positive or negative. They remain as they are. So then it will become 739. That's why they say mean absolute values. We are concerned that is there a variation or not? Understand? Whether it's a positive variation or it's a negative variation, we are concerned about there being any variation. Because when you are forecasting, you can under focus or you can over focus. But what is important is that gap. Then that gap, whether it's positive or negative, it needs to be studied. You understand? So in other cases, there's a gap. In other cases, there's no gap. The smaller the gap, the better. Understand? That's when you are confident about what you are doing. Okay. So, let's move right along. There are questions that I skip deliberately. I found them that they are more of repetition. There's no need for me to cover everything while I'm teaching, because you need to have something that you go study by yourself. And it doesn't mean because of it as an X, it's not in a test. No, you still practice. Understand? So that the only thing you study is not the video, because I noticed that my videos were too long. Sometimes it took multiple days. Now I needed to trim them down. So 4.3 is out. and I have now this. Okay, so I need to start flying. Time is no longer on my side. A check processing center use exponential smoothing to forecast the number of incoming checks each month. The number of checks received in June was 40 million. Yeah? Received. This is actual. Understand? You don't need to write it in full. Okay? And while the forecasting was, you see that, while the forecasting was for that very same month, 420, a smoothing constant of 0.2 is to be used. Yeah? What is a forecast of July? You see that? Then you know that our formula for July is, it relies on the previous month forecast, again, plus its alpha and the actual for that previous month of June minus the forecast of that previous month. Then we have it as actual, okay, the forecast is 42 plus 0.2 open bracket 40 is what they received, right? Yeah. Then minus 42, you go to straight your calculator. 42 plus 0.2 over open bracket 40 minus 42, then do that, then we have it as a 41.6. then it's going to be 42. Then what are they saying for B? If the center received, now the increasing what? The actual. You see that checks in July. Okay, so we have forecasted this for July, but they now received their 80 for July. July equals to 45. Now 80 for July. Then we are looking for August. You see that? Now we are looking for August. So you have what? You have your 41.6 again as a forecast, and you have 44 as actual. Then you're looking for August. And that you can do. The formula is straightforward. Right? So we're moving right along. So on this exercise now, we have Carbondale Hospital is considering the purchase of new ambulance. The decision will rest partly on the anticipated mileage to be driven next year. The miles driven during the past 5 years are as follows. Okay, those are the mileage. Then forecast mileage for the next year, 6th year, using what? A 2-year moving average. Okay, so they are concerned about the 6th year. So you don't do moving average for everything, you just go to the one for the 6th year, and it depends on what? On these two, because it's a moving. You combine them, divide by 2, you will get forecast for the 6th year. $3,800 plus 3,700 over 2 equals 2. You see? So you will punch that on your own time. Find the med on year 2 moving average. Okay, on 2-year moving average. Okay, so now they want us to find the mean absolute deviation. You see that? They want us to find the mean absolute deviation. Okay, and that requires a table like this. I need to write it in full. I made a mistake here. I was practicing. Okay, the nice thing is I already took a screenshot there of this. So if I put it like this, I'll be able to write. Okay. Let's get it. Sometimes when you are writing, you feel like you could sit down. Okay. This guy must come closer to me like this, and I start to write, and I want to zoom. Okay, right, then 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You end at 5 when you're doing you don't include the 6th month, the 6th year when you do this. Ne? You know what? Let's see them. If I've practiced this with a big screen, so things would zooming wouldn't be this much. I wouldn't need to zoom this much. So now I see I must continue practicing with my own with this laptop. Sometimes I feel bad having this laptop always on, and it's work laptop. But I'm working. Why should I feel bad? You know what? Being black is a problem. But I work non-stop, day in, day out for you guys to be ready. I'm optimizing my costs. All right, you say the 2-year moving average, so we start where? We start here on the 3rd. When it's 3-year, we start on the 4th, right? Okay. So now 3,000 plus 4,000. Okay. Then divide by 2 equals to 3 plus 4 equals to divide by 2. We have 3.5. That is 3,500. So minus them same time. So the reason why we don't do the 6th one is because of it doesn't have its actual. See that? So now we say 3.48. 3.48. No. 3.400. Hey. 3400. Okay. Now you can some minus at the same time. 3400 minus 3500. So you see there's a gap of 100 because this is absolute again. Remember, we're having the error here. It's absolute, so we take it on its original figure. Then we don't carry because of the method that we are using. We do not carry. We start afresh by saying we did this and that. Now we want to do the 400. Actually, you can just let me do this. Yeah, now we're sticking to 400 and the 3.4. The 4,000 plus the 3 divided by 2 equals 2. So do you see that now we are using we're not using 3.8, we're still not using 3.8. Okay, so that is going to be 4 plus 3.4. Okay, then divide by 2. Okay, then that is 3.7. I hope no one is being confused about the usage of a calculator. I'm just lazy to write the zeros, but the zeros are there. You just multiply by 1,000 when you want them back. I hope no one here is getting confused. Okay, then we have 3.8, that is 100 again, right? Okay, then now we have this is a 3.7. Okay, so it relies on 3.4 and 3.8. So 3.8 plus 3, 4, like this. Yeah, it relies on those two. Okay, divide by 2 equals 2. No. Yeah, it relies on those two. It's fine. Equals 2 plus 3, 4. Okay, we have it as a, then divide by 2. My answer divide by 2. We have 3.6. 3. Yebo. Let's say 3,000 and 4,000, 3,000 and 4,000. Then we move 4,000 and 3.4, 4,000 and 3.4. We move, then we are here, which is 3,000, okay, and 3.4. 3,800 and 3.4. So even if you write them like this, it's still okay. Yeah. It's good to write with the same consistency. Because when we mark also, yes, I do that same mistake, but it's not a mistake. But when you mark, there's a danger. Because we mark very fast. The moment you pick up inconsistency, something might make you give a wrong where it's not due. Understand? So write with consistency. Even if then I don't write with consistency. I don't want you to be consulting to say Koropi and stuff like that. Because you don't want to be robbed, right? 300, the sum, because this is the sum, né? Over 3 equals to 100. Do you see that? Equals to 100. Okay. It's a 2-year moving average, right? So the first two we do not consider it. Even if it was 3, the first 3 we would not consider it. We start on the, so that we can take these 2, they help us look for this, the first one there, on the third one. Okay? Same apply, even when we come here. We'll rely on these 2. You see that? Now similar now. We'll rely on these 2. This and then we'll find this one. Right? But now we're not looking for this one because it doesn't have its actual. Because the aim is to find the mean absolute deviation. We want to find what is the deviation between 3.7 and 3.6, which is 100, 100, 100. Then it's giving us this, and we're getting it as 100. Okay? The mean, the word mean means average. So it's the average of your variance or of your differential of your deviation. Sorry? That's the error actually. When you say the formula of error, the formula of error is focused error again. It's equals to actual minus forecast value of that very same month. Actual minus forecast value. Then there's your forecast value. minus your, then you have an error of 100. And that error we're not considering, because we are saying absolute. The fact that we are dealing with absolute values, we do not consider it. Some calculators, they do have absolute. Mine doesn't have. Yeah? I think it's also known as ABS. So meaning that if you take two values, yeah, and even if they give you a negative, the value will be positive. My calculator doesn't have that. The absolute thingy, absolute values, which now we have to go with the rule of thumb, what we know about what is a absolute. Okay, then we then okay, you do the very same thing use a weighted 2-year moving average, weighted 2-year moving average, but now with weights of 0.4 and 0.6. When you combine them, what do you get? You get 1. Yeah? You must always combine them. Then you get 1. So this tells you that you go back to your drawing board. We're still on moving average. Mind you, I did say, because I agree here we are teaching, we're not concerned about completing all the questions. We want to teach so that you are prepared enough to complete all the problems yourself. So I'm going to go back to here. You say here, we used what? We used exponential asymptotic gap when we have our focused values. Again, if I were to say find the deviation, meaning that we need to say the error now. 360 minus 360. The error is 0. Then you continue. 389 minus 360. You find the error. 410 minus 365 point something. You find the error. Understand? Then you look for your mean absolute deviation. Meaning that you're looking for the average of those errors. You understand? The world deals with averages. The biggest measure in life's performance, whether in currency, in salaries, in whatever, it's average. Average is the center point. Understand? So they don't want to say they don't want to say the minimum salary people are getting in South Africa is 20 rand per hour. They would rather say the average is 30 rand. Understand? So the higher the average gets, it means that people in that country are earning very good. Understand? So managers understand average more than anything. So don't be afraid. You don't need the totals, you need the average, because it's a global business language. Yeah? Managers love averages. Remember this when your manager asks you, but what is the average? You must remember what I said. So now, we're doing the very same thing. Né? Very same thing. Using what? The weights. Né? Okay. So, I need to copy whatever that is there. 3,000, 4,000, 3.4, 3.8, and then 3.7. Okay, leave this one. So now it says the most recent. I wish I could be able to. It says the most recent. So most recent is the one that is 0.6, right? So you're going to say 4,000 multiplied by 0.6 plus 3,000 multiplied by 0.4. Understand? Then you find the answer, then you do your multiplication. Find your answer, your multiplication. Find your answer, your multiplication. Okay? Then we want to do it like that, then, which is 4,000 multiplied by 0.6 plus 3k multiplied by 0.4. This thing decided to be small. I need to expand it. Actually, expanding is much easier than this. So now, let me write all of them before I calculate, because they don't rely to each other. So now, tell me then, what do I write here? If we are listening to each other, what do I write here? Here. Here. I want to write here. What do I write? $3,400 multiplied by 0. Plus is it 4,000, right? Don't do this way now. Hey, why are you deciding violence? Why are you deciding violence? Of all things you can decide. Sure. My guy, don't do that, man. My eraser, guys, doesn't want to work. Now I'll erase it 99. You can see. That's right. Hey, man. What happened? Okay. Don't do this, man. Why are you doing this? $4,000, guys. Technology is giving something now. It's misbehaving. I don't know what's happening. It's a must to have backup in life. Not Makwapin, but backup. So, let's go the old school. I cannot try to be fancy. Right? Where are we? Where are we? Okay. So erase it. Room it. Uh, 1,000 multiplied by 0.4. And this one, so this is 0.8, right? Yeah. Okay. Then 3. Multiplied by 0.6 plus. No. It's not 3.8, guys. The recent one. The one number is 3.7. The recent one. 3. Oh, it's 3.8, the recent one. Sorry. Then 3.4 multiplied by 0.4 equals 2. Okay. So, since what my pen is giving me some issues, by yourselves, please calculate and complete this. Then you take these values that we have here minus these ones here. Okay? The answers here minus this value there is what you're going to do. And then you find the answers for your practice. Okay? Then we do the very same thing now. They want us to look for no. I think maybe something is pressed there. Oh, nothing is pressed. Can I close this? Okay, let's see. Under draw, let's do that. Number D. Compute forecast for year 6 using exponential smoothing. Ne? Then they are giving you the initial forecast for 1, which is 3,000. Then you know that you are required to do this. Without waste of any time, we are required to say 3,000 plus confirm the, you need to confirm the 0.5, 0.5 open bracket, 3,000 minus 3,000 equals 2, and you find the value here, and it carries over here as a new forecast. Ne? We have done this before. I cannot do it again and again and again. Otherwise, you're not learning anything. You will complete this by yourself. You will complete this by yourselves as part of your practice. Okay. So, cruising now. Let's go to the higher altitude. So, now, this one is very, very interesting. They would want you to plot the sales graph. Yeah? Why is the storyline? Monthly sales for Yazici Batteries Incorporated were as follows. Okay, and we plot the graph. Okay, then you know that this is also known as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, possibly 12. Okay, we know that part. Okay, then if you were to plot a graph, you would need, let me check where can I draw the graph. I can draw it here on the side. If I were to draw it, I'm not gonna draw it and finish it because Lilena, you have a job. Then I have it like this. Then I will put my 1 until 12 here. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 until 12. Ne? Then I look at the ranks here. you can see that it goes all the way until 23. So you can somewhere start counting at 10. Maybe you say 0, 10, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22. And obviously the biggest one is 23. Okay? Then the first one is 20. That's your 20. The second one is 21. That's your 21. Oh, this must now move. Then you somewhere connect them. Then 15. 15. Then 14. Then 13. Then 16. So it keeps on fluctuating. That's how easy to write. I'll give you a graph paper. Write it fast. Ne? You do it fast. Okay? In relation to that, all right. Then number B, you are supposed to forecast for January next year. Ne? January, using each of the following. Okay? You use each of the following. Number 1, I'm concerned about what? B. Number 1. Number 2. Number 1 requires a naive method. This is the method that companies technically use. Ne? It's called naive method. It says in the book, naive method, companies will use this year or this month forecast. Sales will be their next month forecast. So if you were to do this, it will be 20 for naive. Forecast this is actual sales. Okay? The forecast will be 20. So meaning you're forecasting like that. And then 21, it will go like that. So now when we are here looking for, this is December, when we're looking for January, it means January is 23. Right? So that's a naive method. The previous month's sales, as they are, is your next month's forecast. Not next month's sales, forecast. Meaning that, remember, we produce cars. Ne? This is a globally accepted and mostly used forecasting method by many companies. Whether restaurants, whether it's the simplest one. Managers love it the most. So they say, if our sales were 20 this month, ne? $20, 20 million, 20 billion, 20,000. Next month, would assume that we must forecast to get the same amount. Meaning we'll forecast to aim for 20 next month. But when we are having an actual of 21, what does that mean? It means that we produced better because those are sales. However, we have a deviation. Understand? we have a deviation of 1. Then from there, the actual for the next one is, for the next one is 21. So now, you see now, 21 versus 15, then it becomes big. So this, once you have bigger fluctuations, it's not a recommended method. If you have bigger fluctuations, that will be in the clothing market. You can't really predict clothes that easily. And clothes also, people most of the time, they like what you call it, inventory. All of us, we are wearing shoes, né? And all of us here, when we go to the shop, we want specifically our size. And imagine they say, no, we only have size 10. You go back, you're not going to buy it. So when it comes to clothes, people tend to overstock. They'll stock all the sizes. Then they now came up with a strategy to create shoes specifically for guys and shoes specifically for ladies. Then now they made a very small blend. They say the ladies' size ends where? At what size, ma'am? You don't know. Madam? Size? 6. They say it ends at size 6. But they don't understand that at times we do have ladies that go up to 9. Understand? So now they must join us and wear our shoes, which are technically boring according to them. So that's unfortunate what is happening. Even clothes sometimes, you would find that tiny clothes for adults are not popular. For instance, short guys, we tend to struggle. I have to always, bend my trousers because I'm now horizontally challenged. So now, when we get here at 23, here it's going to be 21 for this one. However, for January, which is now for Jan, it's going to be 23. But we don't have the actual for January. That's why we are predicting the future. You understand? You must come up with how much are we supposed to produce of these iPhones? You look at the previous demand. Oh, last year they wanted 1 million of these things. Let's produce another 1 million. That's how they're doing it. I believe even Eskom checks the daily demand and say, oh, tomorrow we give them these megawatts. And that's why sometimes you find that our substations, they blast once there are unnecessary spikes in the consumption. The reason why you saw the video here by our stadium or at Sebokeng, a substation burned down. It is because of the consumption of that area has increased. And then what happens to the system? The system overheats. Understand? Then it explodes. Imagine that was in a form of fuel, whereby a certain garage station, we are all packed in it, we want the fuel. What will happen to the fuel? It's going to get finished. But when it comes to water, and on Saturdays in particular, where I'm from, in Vosloorus, on Saturdays the taps, when we open them, nothing comes out. And it's not that there's no water. We are too many now. We are overloading the system. So when it comes to electricity, especially in winter, that's where we see a lot of substation burning, because they don't give under supply, they overheat. You understand? It's like when a car is overloaded, it starts to break down. Okay? So now, moving up a 3-month moving average. Ne? 3-month moving average. So you gotta consider these 3 for the 3 months moving average. Do you see that? And then you do what? You find your January. And then the 6 months moving average, because we're looking for the January again, then it means that you're gonna take the 6 months. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All this, and then the recent one is 0.3. 0.3 here, 0.2, 0.2, 0.1111. Then you combine them. And if you read this, if you combine this, you realize this is actually, they lead to 1. Therefore, you don't need to divide by that number. It's always going to be the same number. Then we are done with this one. Then, exponential smoothing. They want us to start at September. So for the exponential smoothing, you've already done the formula. So they want us to start here. I'll write it only once, and then you know what you must do. So we have this, and we have its forecast. They say the forecast for this is 18. Then we start from there, going to this one. Now, where's now the do I have a table for this? Okay, there. I have the table already written. So now we have that. What is our the alpha? It's what? 0.3. Okay. You come here. Remember the formula again. Ft is equals to Ft minus 1. So 18 plus 0. What? The B, I mean the alpha here. The alpha, open bracket, 80 minus 1 minus Ft. So you know, plus 0.3, open bracket, is going to be the actual of the previous month now. Not of this current month, of the previous month. 20. Because you assume that you don't know this. You understand? You assume that you don't know that current month. It has not yet happened. And then minus 18. Then you have this. You take that value, next, then you continue. Understand? So now the interesting one is this part that comes after. The part that comes after, where it says use the trend projection. You see, we spoke about exponential smoothing. Now we speak about trend projection. I wanted to get here before, even if something happens to my recording, at least that part is also covered. Then trend projection, I said earlier on, what do you look for first? The value of, just remember, the value of B. There's a special formula for that also. Then we have this formula here. You look for B first, then you look for A. Then you look for the formula. See, so now, take out your calculators. Take out your calculators. The next step is important. Let's take out our calculators. We're gonna do this method here now. We're gonna do this method. You go to mode, then stat, which is number 2, then stat. Should I put it on the center? Okay, then number 2. Then we will take A plus B there, number 2 again. Then you'll have a graph like this. You have something like this. Ne? Okay. That's why I downloaded this calculator. I need to pay for it because in April it expires. I hope it's cheap to maintain it. Yo, guys, we pay for everything here in Val. Yo, it's not nice. And we are staffed at that time. So now you write 1, 2 until 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay? Then you go up. Then you punch in that information as a whole. I have 20 enter 21, enter 15, enter 14, enter 13, enter 16, enter 17, enter 18, no, enter 18, enter 20, enter 20, enter 21, enter, and lastly 23, enter, sharp. So now all the information there, you can even confirm it. 20, 21, 15, 14, 13, 16, 17, 18, 20, 20, 21, 23. Then AC, you come out there. Okay? Then now, next thing we will do is to compare our, we're gonna compare our formula now. You take down your formula. What does your formula require? It requires you to have the sum of xy, the sum of x squared, and x bar, y bar, and n. Okay, that's it. That's the things that you need. Right, then now you go to calculator, shift 1. Shift 1. You're gonna come across this thing. Then you go for the sum, number 3. The sum. Then you take the first one, which is sum of x squared. Then you write down the answer. X squared is 650. We go back, shift 1, 3. Sum of xy, which is number 5. 5. Enter. Must always say enter. 1, 4, 7, 4. Right. Then we will look for your averages now. Shift 1. You look for variables. 4. Then 1. 12. Your n is 12. Then you go back. Otherwise you'll be forced to calculate these things one by one, and you don't want that. You understand? Then x bar is number 2. It says 6.5. Then look for y bar now, which is number 5. Y bar 18.17. By looking at the formula B, is equals to 1474 minus, where's your n, which is 12, multiplied by x bar 6.5 multiplied by y bar 18.17 over you look at your formula again. Let me unzoom a little bit. X squared is 650 minus 12 multiplied by, you put it in bracket, this one 6.5, like this. Then the value of b is equals to, in order for you to be able to compute, because you see immediately when I do this, it does this. This I don't understand. I need to clear it up. Akira took everything that I want. You don't clear it up your normal way. You can go to mode and you say com, then it is back to normal mode, then you say com. then it goes back to normal. Then now we punch in the information that we have there, minus 12 multiplied by 6.5 multiplied by 6.5 multiplied by 18.17 over 650 multiplied by 12 multiplied by rather open bracket 6.5 squared. Then my answer is, I don't trust this answer. Why? Twelve times, okay. 0.397. Okay, that's my B. Ne? That's my B. Then you go look for A. A, it's equals to, what is your, it's 18.17 minus 0.397 multiplied by 6.5. 18.17 minus 0.397 multiplied by 6.5. Then you have this value of A, it's equals to 15.5. I'm forced to say 59. Right? Then now we're looking for the value of Y. Value of Y equals to I believe 15.59 multiplied by 6.5 multiplied by this is where it gets interesting. Multiply by what? What are we looking for? Y at year or month 13. We're looking for, again we have December, we're looking for January. That's what the question said. Look for January. Again, so it's going to be 13 here. Remember guys, let's explain this. I can see faces are shocked. Based on this formula here at the top, we don't have Y equals to, but we do have the A again, which is 15.59 plus we do have the B 6.5. Then what about the X? How do we find the X? You come to this, to the graph you drew. If this was 10, 11, 12, so the only thing missing here is what? It's 13, because 12 is relying on its Y is 23. Okay, so 12, let's say it was gonna be around about there 23. So now we know that 12 is its Y. I get this is X, this is X, then this is Y. Then now we have this X, we have it 13, we don't have the Y. You see that we don't have the Y. Okay, then now the formula that we have derived here leads us to finding the Y. The Y is equals to 15.59. This is not times but plus plus B, the value of B, not average, the value of B, guys. 0.397 multiplied by 13. 0.397 multiplied by 13. Then Y is 2751. Then Y is 20.751. Okay? 20.751. This I skipped, this I skipped, this I skipped. For you practice. For your practice. This one is easy. See these ones. These kind of questions also are very interesting. Very interesting. Okay? Then we'll be for what? For the forecasting. Go straight to your formula. Ft minus 1 plus S. Then when you look at it from here, the previous forecast is 8. Well, then if they are looking for this 0.25, 0.25. Bracket actual demand, then 48 minus 8 equals 2. Answer that. Moving right along. So this one is also interesting. It's having the forecast and the actual demands. You see that the forecast and the actual demand. To this side, start with the actual demand. Then you're doing this. Understand? Start with the actual demand. So you write down those actual demands. I'll write them. 1, okay, all right. 0, okay. 0, come on. 0.7111. See, easy. And then method 1 is 0.91, 0.5, 0.95. I need to zoom. I'm not writing comfortably. Then 1.2 for med, mean absolute deviation. For med, you're saying 80. I get this is your 80. Remember, that's what I said. 80. This one FT. Then 0.79 minus 0. Come on. 0.7 minus 0.9. That's your med. 1 minus 1.05. 1 minus 0.95. 1 minus 1.2, which is equals to. Give me the answer. 0.2. Here, it's negative, right? It's not a negative, it's positive 0.05, right? Negative, come on, 0.5. Then this one, it's, you can see also it's actually, no, this one is positive, this one is a negative, negative 0.05. Then this one I see at 0.2, right? And a negative 1, 0.2. You sum them up, this absolute deviation. So we ignore the negative signs, right? So 0.00, come on, type on, point A. You'll do it. Yahan. It's not me. 0 point, nah, it's fine. You will do it. Then now you take the very same values, put them in brackets, normal brackets, 0.2 squared. You see that? 0.0, it's a negative also, this one again, 5 squared. Zero point 0.05 squared. 0.05 squared. 0.2 squared. It will be the sum of these things. Sum of absolute errors here. Now here you do the sum of, you see the difference. This is called equals to MSE. This one is equals to MED. Once you're done, you sum the sum, divide by n. 1, 2, 3, 4. Therefore, divide by 4. You find mean square of errors. Mean square of errors. Then you're looking also for mean and distribution. And then you see that these are not brackets. They mean absolute. These are brackets. As we move right along. This one is chowing. I cancel it. It's chowing. I want us. I hate the fact that I make a lot of mistakes when I do it. So I'm like, so now this here, 101 minus 120 to find the figure. 96 minus that to find the figure. Just like that for here. Then for here, you then put this in middle. I forget. It says, the formula says actual minus forecast value over actual. This is a value of change. Change of percentage change. Percentage increase, percentage decrease. And then you multiply it by what? By 100. At the end, you sum them. So you do that, those things here. And that's why I now started to start pointing things at the board, so that those who don't attend, they won't understand. It needs to pay for you to come here. So for the naive method, and then number 2, they ask you, do management results outperform a naive method? You see that, a naive method. So we have 101, 96, 89, 108. You see that 101, 96, 189, 108. But because of we are approaching it in a form of naive, we're going to take 83 there. And then we're going to take 83. Then it's going to be like this. 83 it's a previous one. Then here it's 101. Here is 96. Here is 89. You do the very same thing. Okay? Moving right along. I'm tired now. I pray. My prayers have been answered. Thank you so much. Do we have any question? I'm available until 12 in case you want to consult. Ne? I'll start to stay until 12 in my office.